Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, we're going to be talking about the euro. I believe the euro will start dropping this week or next week, and I think it's going to give us a huge move to the downside. So, it's going to be more like a position trade. I'm going to be holding for probably at least a month this trade. All right, so now let's get right into it. So let's start with technicals. Go to monthly. Monthly, we have this beautiful drop, base drop here. Drop, base drop. Price came into that zone, touched it, started reacting. Also, we have this drop, base drop on the weekly, which is basically the same level as the monthly. Price came into that zone, started reacting. So we have big brother, small brother coverage. Now we also have on the weekly this rally base drop. Price pierced a little bit but didn't close above. So this is a level on top of level. So these two levels are valid. So that is a very good sign. Very good sign that we should um, probably start dropping. Now let's go to the fundamental aspects. Retailers. Oh boy, super bullish. All right, super bullish compared to previous behavior. Look here, when they were this bullish, look what happened. So now they are extreme bullish, and if they get up to this zone, then I am extremely bearish. Okay, so but for now, I am starting to look for shorts because they're very, very bullish. Okay, now let's talk about fund managers. We could see a clear divergence. We're making a higher high here, breaking structure, breaking bearish structure. Well, yeah, sort of. We were kind of sideways, but here we created a lower low, and now this is a lower high, which now here in price it violated. And we could see that fund managers are starting to short the market. They're starting to short. Okay, and let's go to seasonality, which is looking very nice. So seasonality, we could see that the top should be around the 30th of April, and then we should start dropping until the end of May. So that's another good sign. And obviously, we are overvalued or coming from overvalued against the dollar right here. We're coming from overvalued. So this is looking very nice. Now let's check what the US dollar is doing. So the US dollar, we are in demand, weekly demand. Unfortunately, this demand is not covered by Big Brother, Small Brother, but it's a really good demand. It's a rally-based rally, which means that it is original, all right? It's original, which is basically if you look to the left, it's not reacting to any zone. It should react to the downside from this drop base drop, but instead of reacting to the downside, it actually violated this supply. And when it violated, it created this demand. So it's original. And then if you look to the right, it's fresh. What does that mean? That price has never touched uh, this zone until now. So it's an original zone and it's a fresh zone. Now, we can see that retailers are very bearish compared to previous behavior. Look, they were this bearish, and then they started. Look at all these weekly candles. all these bullish weekly candles. So so yeah, they're very bearish, which is very good for us to uh, long the USD. So in other words, short the euro USD. And um, we could see that seasonality is also telling us that we should expect a bottom around the same time the euro is expecting a top, which is uh, the 30th of April, um, around that date. Okay, so now let's discuss the Euro USD, which is what we're going to be trading. Excuse me, trading. So the Euro USD is basically the same as the Euro futures chart. We have this drop base drop on the weekly and in the monthly. Right here, we're on the weekly time frame. Let me show you guys the monthly. Same thing, drop base drop. Price came into that zone, it's reacting, and also if we go to the weekly at this rally base drop, which is currently in that zone. Okay, so what am I waiting for to enter this trade? We go to a lower time frame so we can see a beautiful head and shoulders. The only problem or the only thing that I don't like of this head and shoulders is that with this impulse, I was expecting this impulse to break this uh this pivot right here, but it didn't break, so it's kind of consolidating right now. So what am I expecting? I'm expecting for maybe 4 hour time frame to break below break below this pivot, give us a pullback, and then after the pullback we are gonna short. All right, or second scenario, we are going to create a head and shoulders inside this head and shoulders. All right, there's head and shoulders forming, left shoulder, head, and then potential right shoulder. So I'm expecting to create a head and shoulders inside the head and shoulders. This would be the left shoulder, a break above, oops, a break above, creating the head, a break below these pivots, creating a lower low, then creating the right shoulder with a lower high, and then looking for an entry to continue to the downside. Oops. This would be the better option because our risk reward would be much better. All right. It would basically be we enter here, then stops around here, and then the risk reward would be amazing. All right. Amazing, amazing. So yeah, that's pretty much what I am looking for in the euro USD. And let me show you guys the trade updates on the other ones. Euro GBP shorted around here. We are we're currently in profit. We are currently almost a 1-to-1. We were 1 to 1.4. Wait, give me a second. Exactly. So yeah, for 4 hours we could see we're creating lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low. I'm expecting price to continue to the downside. If price closes above this pivot, then I'm moving my stop loss to break even. Once it reaches this level, I will be putting my stop loss to break even, excuse me, break even. And what else? I'm still long the crude oil. Slowly but surely, it's going up. Um, so we're currently overvalued on the short term, which is not great. And yeah, if both of them get on overvalued at the same time, then I'll be considering closing the trade once price gets into this drop base, which all of this would be the base drop. Yeah. And I'll probably look for shorts if that happens. Okay, so yeah. That's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next video. I'll keep you guys updated. All right, guys. Bye bye.